Here we go.
This is the first time I've seen this film start to finish. The infamous Waterworld, a 90s disaster in similar proportions. I understand why this film bombed, although it did make a profit eventually on home video and DVD and sales, so the film eventually made a profit, but this film was so boring. Expensive BOREFEST, 175 million for what? Some okay action scenes, I guess dry land looks okay. I was expecting Avatar, expecting Star Wars, 175, almost 20 million budget for this. This film could easily be made about 18 million. 300 looks more impressive than this film, and that costs 70 million, so more than half this budget. Sin City looks more impressive to me. Other films far less look way more impressive than this film to me. So this set in the future where the world is covered in water. Most of the world is covered in water due to um what do you call them? I'm trying to think of what scientific terms. Ice caps. Yeah, the polar ice caps have completely melted and the sea level is above 7.6 thousand meters. So majority of the world is underwater. So imagine Noah's Ark happened. Hypothetically, if obviously if we Christian believe it happened, if you're Christian Muslim Jew, you believe it hit to us. Say Noah's Ark definitely happened, no ifs or buts, and the world survived Noah's Ark. This obviously get Waterworld. So it's set in 2500, where the world's pretty much underwater, and there's guy called the Marina on the name guy called Marina. He's a mutant. He's got gills and webbed feet. So it's like a bomber merman, half human, half creature, I guess. I'm not sure what causes his mutation, but as a drifter called the Marina played by Kevin Costner. He's just a drifter. He drifts around the world in his trimaran. One he comes across this woman, Helen, played by Gianni Tribblehorn, and this woman girl called Enola, played by Tina Majorino, who persuade him to take him to this place called Dryland. It's pretty much like one of the few places in Earth that's not covered in water. It's like the kind of Exodus, the promised land for human beings. However, they get pursued by this warlord called the Deacon, the Data Hopper. I guess a couple out of the movie, the way he looks, he's like a bald skinhead, no, completely bald with like one eye and a fake eye and one like and a eye patch, like a pirate. This is like a pirate film movie. He's chasing them because they kidnap the girl and Kim Costner trying to get the girl back, and so on and so on. So it's like an adventure, action adventure. Oh yeah, I don't know why this cost 175 million. Kim Costner does his best reacting as well. There was issues regarding tension between even though Reynolds and Kevin Costner worked a few times, like they put the feast together, the three films together, but it was back and forth and there was reshoots and which is part of the reason why the budget went from 100 million to 175 million, but 234 million including marketing, it's almost 250 million altogether. Film made 264 million worldwide. So the break even was a flop, however, because of home video sales and sales, he made his money back and made some profit. But still, this is Universal Pictures, so the big studios, I guess they could afford hit the loss. They're one of the big studios in Hollywood, so I bet they made Jurassic Park, so they had a lot of money to spend. After success Jurassic Park 2 years prior, so I guess they could afford to take a loss of Waterworld. But this definitely harmed Kevin Costner's career as a leading man because I had this flop and had his Horseman 2 years later. So this was like the beginning and the world as Kevin Costner's lead. He still has a success in as director, but as leading man, as like Tom Cruise A-list, like a Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, just Clooney level. This is like the beginning and the end of it. Kevin Costner's an A-list, lead a bankable star. He became more supporting star, director guy, more director behind the scenes, supporting actor guy. This is like this beginning because he kind of had a good run. We had Dance of the Wolves, you had GFK, you had The Bodyguard, Robin Hood. He had a lot in the late 80s and No Touchables, No Way Out. You know, a lot, kind of had Field of Dreams, Bill Durham. He had a lot of hits in the late 80s, early 90s. That was his era as leading man, Hollywood heartthrob, A-list bank actor, late 80s, early 90s. But this Postman was pretty much the end. As Kevin Costner was an A-list bankable leading man. Which is good. I don't know, man, he's a good actor, but there's two really bad projects, colossal failures in this and the Postman. But I was bored. I actually slept through parts of the movie. Other people like this film. I just think BOREFEST much like it flopped. I guess Devin Hillis Hopper's it's fun as the Deacon and some interesting concepts of dry land. I, I find it, by the way, does it annoy me the way like in my more comment, sorry, more comment annihilation annoys me, or I hate it that much like as I hate in Lost Lands, or I hate it as much as I hate Catwoman for say, or The Flash, or I don't know what's going to mean. I don't hate this movie. I just find it extremely boring film, and just like a Netflix and chill back all required. You won't mean it after you've seen it. It's just you remember me because of how big the budget was and how big a flop it was. You remember this film for the wrong reasons rather than the film itself, if you know what I mean. A colossal box office flop at the time, made some money back, thankfully, and but this ended the start of the end of Kevin Costner as a leading bankable man in Hollywood. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye now.
Stay here. I'll be back.